Shalom, I'm Noah Price, your Christian gamer. I love Dragon Ball, and I've been enjoying my experience with following this game from set to set. Even though I made multiple videos on this already, and I've streamed a good amount of this game over on my other channel, Christian Scrub, but is it still worth it? I know we're going to be talking about that because set 3 is finally out. It's been out about a week or so on the online client, and I've gotten a good amount of time into it, and so I think I'm in a spot where I can kind of talk about some things of I love some changes they're doing and some problems that are still a thorn in our side, and a new problem that has shown up that I'm kind of worried about. Right off the bat, let's talk about the positives. Set 3 introduces GT, everybody. Hey! I was pumped for GT. I was also pumped for Bardock. My boy Bardock actually got in the game. Let's go! And with it, it introduces a totally new color to this game. The color identity of black. And black is weird. Black has like the two unique new functions of one, it deals with energy markers, which is kind of cool to have this kind of like implement of like, hey, you can add new energy markers, this temporary kind of like energy you get to use and also get value from. Very cool, very interesting. And the second part is combo. A massive part of this game is comboing. Like, it's such a unique mechanic to this game. And so having it as a way where you get specific value from is pretty powerful, and it's made black a very fun set to play. That is if you have all the pieces. Let's just get into it. One of the problems right off the bat with set 3 is the card acquisition. That's always kind of been a theme so far with playing the online, is how do you get cards? You don't really get a lot of gems, so it makes it kind of hard to get packs easily. You don't have a great crafting system to be able to craft cards, and sadly there hasn't been much change in this department. There's a few changes that has happened. We're gonna talk about them because they are good changes and I'm really glad they did it, but there's small problems. Like, one, they haven't changed the crafting system. So if you want to build a deck and create new decks, you're very limited, and it's very painful for a player, either new or even like a player who's been playing it from the beginning, like me. It's still a problem. This game, like a lot of other card games, is heavy on SRs, and you kind of just want your decks to always be filled with a lot of SRs just because they're good, which means you have to hunt for SRs. And a tier above that is secret rares. Some people have been kind of like milling over whether secret rares should be so hard to get compared to SRs. If you buy 10 packs, you're guaranteed to get an SR. Secret rares are just random. You have to just hope you get a secret rare, even though they have a low percentage of actually getting pulled. Secret rares have been good, but never have been crazy to where you need to have 4 cards. With set 3, in the new color of black, we are in a spot where the secret rare, the GT Goku secret rare, is a must secret rare. You need 4 of these cards, which has made it very painful for a lot of people who want to be running this deck optimally. You need to be buying a bunch of packs and hoping you pull secret rares. There's some people who are upset because when they did get secret rares after buying like 260 packs, which is a crazy amount, they were able to get 6 of the Gohan secret rares, but only like 2 or 3 of the GT secret rare. And it's one of those where it's like, because of the crafting system, with it being where you have to get 4 of the same kind of card to start making progress to getting a wild card in that spot. I hate the system because it's just like you can't really build it. There's no grace, and so it sucks. And we're seeing it kind of stretched even worse here, to where when it comes to the secret rare, now that it's a card that is actually really necessary to, if you want to play any black deck, you need 4 of the secret rare. It's a rough experience, but it's not all bad. This game has done some positives when it comes to acquisition of cards. Now, is it long-term benefits? No. It's very short-term temporary, and it's very clear why they did what they did, but I'm still going to show it as a pro because I wasn't expecting them to do it, and I'm glad they did it. For logging in until September 1st, if you just log into the game, you get 50 free packs. You get 10 of the new set, you get 20 of the second set, and you get 20 of the first set. If you are a new player, a player who has been playing the game for a while like me, this is a great deal. If you just want to try out the game for the first time ever, this is a perfect time to try out this game. Just try it in, get your packs, pull your packs, get your dopamine, and have a good day. Which is exactly what my friends did on my stream, which was ridiculous. Side note, ridiculous. So much ridiculousness. We opened up so many packs that day. It was nuts. It was nuts. But again, this is something that I'm glad they did, because we're kind of slowly getting into a spot to where it's like, when you're a new player jumping into the new set, what cards do you buy? Do you buy for the new set? Do you buy for the first set? Because so far in this game, we're kind of using cards from every single set, which is what you hope. We don't want a game to where, oh, all you do is you just buy the cards from the new set, and those are just always going to be better than the old cards. You shouldn't expect your old cards to ever be worth it. And luckily enough, kind of leaning into that, with set 3, it has continued the trend of giving kind of some support to the old leaders. Now, do some leaders get less support than others? Yes. Cooler is still the worst leader in the game. It has gotten the least amount of support, and I mean, it hurts. I love playing Cooler as the leader, but it's just like, you do not play Cooler. And, you know, while that sucks, there's still a lot of good things to play that, like, I'm still satisfied. I'm still having a great time, because there's so many fun leaders of the new leaders they do add that have fun mechanics that I'm having a good time. And with the few little cards they do add in for the other cards, it is making different strategies a little bit more supported. In set 2, Cell was a pretty solid leader. And one strategy that was a bit niche of him was doing the Gingertown ramp package, where you would possibly be able to ramp out like 3 energy on turn 3 instead of just 1 if you just did the basic ramp card. But the problem with this was it's memey, because it wasn't very consistent. It was hard to actually pull off. In set 3, with the introduction of the farmer, I've seen so many people ramp so crazy with this card to where it's not really a meme strategy anymore. Stuff like this is very fun. I like that this game has kind of done that for certain kind of leaders. One thing I got to try and still make use, and I think so far this has been the best use, like the best kind of like deck for it so far, is with the Deadku leader, which again, it's weird that they did Goku instead of Great Saiyaman Gohan. I know, it's weird, but it is what it is. One card I've been trying to make work in blue is a Super Saiyan 3 Goku that discards 3 cards from your hand to be able to flip him over and make him stronger. It's a weird effect. It's kind of powerful, but it has a massive cost, which makes sense. It's Super Saiyan 3. That's the whole thematicness of Super Saiyan 3. It's been kind of hard to try to make this work, but with set 3, with this new leader that draws a bunch, I've been able to actually win some games with this card and make it semi-valuable. Dumb stuff like this is always fun to do in the game. I don't want to just be playing the best cards and can't play my fun shenanigans to try to make them work. I think overall, when it comes to the meta and the balancing of this game, I think it's been pretty solid, and I'm pretty glad about this. While I say that, there is one mechanic they introduced into the game that does smell trouble for the game. With Majin Buu, they introduced the text barrier. Barrier as an effect is an effect that can't be targeted by skills. We've seen this in other games. For one example is Magic Gathering with Hexproof. Some of you guys who might be playing Magic Gathering or might know Magic Gathering for a while, you can know this is a bit of an annoying kind of mechanic, because it basically just say, hey, no, you don't get to interact with this piece. And what happened with Hexproof, when we look in the future or the timeline of Magic Gathering, we saw it went to the point of then there was introduction of cards that got around Hexproof, which means what was the point of Hexproof? And it kind of was this weird power scaling that kind of ruined it. To the point where now in Magic Gathering, you don't see Hexproof getting like printed on cards too often. What we're seeing now is this new kind of like, it's kind of like a Hexproof called Ward. It's like Hexproof, but you have to pay a little extra cost and then you can interact with it. I, amongst many other, kind of hope they kind of go in this trajectory. I'm not saying that Hexproof can't be in the game. I don't think that Hexproof in general is just ruined as a mechanic. I think it can work as long as you're careful. As I've seen so far in this game, it's been okay. We'll have to see what happens if they go crazy with printing a bunch of barrier. Overall, I like a lot of the changes this game's doing. I think in general, it's going in the more positive route. Am I still playing this game? Yes. Do I still think it's worth your time? yeah, I don't think it's bad, especially if you're a new player or a returning player right now before September 1st, jumping in, getting 50 packs. That's a good time. But even if not, again, for me, I was able to, through just buying codes, I was able to just spend $5 and I was able to get a 10 pull. That is very nice as an online player. But for when it's just a free-to-play player, when you're just playing the game on its own, it's rough. It needs more work, but hey, I think so far it's still worth your time. Thank you to all my Patreons that support me a lot. Greatly appreciate it so much. Jesus loves you. Shalom.
I need you to commentate this. I need you to get your commentator voice on.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. It all leads up to this. 4 people's hundreds of packs. Yeah.
Here we go.
200.
Countless. And so we have had countless hours of non-stop pack action.
Dude, where's your energy?
Noah, Noah Price, aka Hero Scrubs.